Welcome back to Box
We are
Bros.
so back. Oh, yeah. What a race. What a race we have had on
I'm
our
pleased,
hands. Why don't you
but
start
also
us off,
disappointed
Alfie?
at the same time. I
How
think
do you
there
feel
was
about
something
that
on the
race being a
table.
Red Bull fan?
I think, yeah, but I think on the restart, if we had
For P2, you got
Leclerc.
podium.
medium instead of the softs, and then we put the softs on, I reckon we could have got Piastri on the restart. But we take it. It works. It worked though.
Our tyre strategy was interesting because we only went on
No, we did.
softs and hards.
Yeah, I think we did. We went like 30 laps on it.
Mediums, did we?
I don't think I saw a medium on him.
No.
You
Yeah.
did.
Oh yeah, Max. Yeah. Max went on the mediums. Yeah, you're right.
I was high there.
Max always went for the
Yeah.
softer compound, which is ironic because everyone was
Yeah.
bad mouthing.
But I'm very.
the softs,
What I'm
but
surprised with is Behrman.
I guess
Behrman.
Max is. I'm excited.
Yeah, Behrman's
And
pit lane to P6 was an absolutely amazing drive.
Shunt.
Considering his crash damage over the weekend, he's done really well as well.
Yeah, that was a horrific crash.
Perez. Yeah. All because of
I wonder if there's a
Monaco.
table. I remember the Destructors Championship last year was a clean sweep.
I think
by Sergio
Yuki's still
Perez.
first though.
It was just Perez.
It is definitely got to be Lance Stroll up there
Yuki were,
on that one.
yeah, beginning of the weekend or something they got put out on Twitter and it was Yuki at the top.
Well, for this year,
But anyway,
Oh wow. Maybe Norris has gained a few places as well now after that crash. Both Ferraris actually. That crash, Lewis's crash looked just as
And
bad
Hamilton's-
as Leclerc's crash. That entire
Lewis
front
has
wing
also
was-
got a
that
5 place
entire
grid
nose
penalty, isn't he?
completely gone.
yeah,
If anything, Leclerc's was worse.
yeah. Leclerc was just clean off, wasn't
Got to feel bad for him.
it? Yeah.
Did Sainz end up getting points? He didn't.
Sainz,
Feel bad for
no,
him.
Sainz got 10-second penalty, but no points.
But speaking of Williams, Albon got P5, didn't he? It was P5. Yeah, because P4 went to George and P5 went to
Yeah.
Albon, and that is a really good result.
That was he got plus
Really
10 on that. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Kimi would have actually ended up in points as well, but 15-second grid pen.
Albon,
what do you think about
Albon was P5. Yeah.
P5, yeah. I mean, what a result. If you told me this time last year that you were going to see Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Ollie Behrman, and Isaac Hadjar and Alex Albon all in the points, I would have laughed your head off. And I wouldn't have laughed your head off if I was told that Lewis Hamilton was going to DNF in a Ferrari. I would have been sad. But how much a year can do is just hilarious to the rest of the pack. Not so much McLaren, because McLaren have, they've just caught that momentum from last year and they've just kept it going. And I'm really jealous.
This is the second time this season that Ferrari have come out of it with no points whatsoever. And they're still P2 in the constructors.
Not for long though.
No.
I genuinely think I'm hoping, Alfie, I don't know how you feel about this.
He got points
I'm hoping
today.
that now that we have Laurent Mekies, Yuki can get a couple of more points, and if he just keeps getting a couple of more points and ticking away,
Well,
then
because
he
Max
might
is
be able
always
to
going to be.
overtake, Mercedes and hopefully.
Yeah, because Max is
at
always
that
going to be in
point,
P2.
Ferrari.
Yeah, 34 points behind
Max is always going
Mercedes.
to be fighting behind the McLarens.
That's not too
On
bad,
and
that's
off
a
there,
race
it'll be
win.
George. But Yuki got P9 today with an engine issue, so there's more. Yeah.
I mean, he's got some points. So that's good. That's good for Red Bull.
Honourable mention to Leclerc as well for this race, though. Him versus George Russell is genuinely like classic mustard wheel-to-wheel racing.
But you know what'd be funny, though?
For a small second, it reminded me
you know what's funny,
of
though?
Verstappen versus
If that was
Hamilton
Max
2021.
in
when they were
Charles's
just
car,
going at it.
Suze, doing that to George, he would be described as the worst human on the planet if that was him. By some people. Yeah.
For sure. 100%.
I think it was.
Because I was following all of the news articles and they all went and said,
Yeah,
Charles
he was like, that's
Leclerc,
proper racing.
wow, full stop. Even Jeremy Clarkson, because I love him, I follow him on X. And even he was like, Leclerc, unbelievable, proper racing.
It was. It was.
But if it was Max, it was, he's cheating,
Yeah.
he's a dirty.
It reminded me of proper '90s racing, like proper like your Schumacher days, your Senna days, of proper like wheel to wheel.
Wheel to wheel, he went into the gravel or the grass for a small second, and he literally nudged
He did.
into
I
Russell.
see him just
Kimmy's
push.
face.
His front right
Yeah,
tire
he's like,
pushed.
who do you think you are? Yeah. And the way that the end of his front wing didn't get clipped as well, it's a miracle how he survived
Yeah.
that. It's just such a shame that Kimmy
Yeah.
understeered, obviously. It's quite funny because both Ferraris DNF'd on the exact same.
Oh no, turn three.
First
Turn
was Lewis,
three. It was cursed
and
this
then
weekend.
It was Charles.
Yeah, Kimmy came into that with the wrong trajectory into that corner. He came in far too. I think he came in far too tight for that corner to take.
Well, he made the apex, but that wasn't the racing
Yeah.
line because you have to go high on that turn. So and Max was speaking about this actually in
High line and low.
the pre-race on a media day on Thursday with Gabriel Bortoleto, and they were asked, "What turn would you take? Would you take the apex or would you go a little bit higher?" And Max said, "Well, you can't because they've not banked the apex either. So the apex is actually a little bit more flat. So as you're actually going up, you actually have to steer more than you usually need to." And I think that's why he understeered, because obviously you're going through with pace and you're trying to turn a car on an elevated platform and you haven't got that elevation in the first place. Unlucky, because Leclerc would have actually set up to probably be challenging for P4. I'd arguably even a podium because he was quite good.
That goes my predictions went out the window of a Norris win, a Piastri P2, and a Leclerc P3.
I said Norris would be out of the point. I said Norris wouldn't be on the podium though, I think. And I'm happy for that. But no. I think, no, shit, I can't remember. I know I said Max wouldn't be on the podium.
Yeah.
And I'm happily surprised that Max was on the podium. Even until the end, there was a part of me which was like, oh no, Max is on U-Softs, which I've done an entire run in qualifying, a hot lap in qualifying. What if Isaac Hadjar ends up taking his place instead after the Norris DNF? But that was just my negativity. Classic.
Yeah.
Red
What
Bull
did you
getting
see?
into me after what I've seen this year? But I'm happy. As a Red Bull fan,
I
I'm
said,
happy.
did you see? Kimmy.
Yeah, go on, Alfie.
He said Kimmy could be one of them drivers. That's good in a bad.
I didn't know. I sort of switch off when he talks.
Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just waffles.
I think with I don't know. It's hard with Kimmy because he started off really strong and he's making more and more mistakes, and
Yeah.
the further into the season we're getting, he's making a few more mistakes here and there. I mean, this is not the first time that Kimi Antonelli has wiped somebody out in a race, is it? But it's the first time he's wiped someone out.
Definitely won't be the last.
No.
But then again, I mean, I think. Okay, I'll say two things on this. One, Jacques Villeneuve, whatever it's.
Villeneuve.
You know, he is. When you hear him commentate, he just sounds so egoistic, and like you just can't. It's not someone that you can like talk to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you're listening to the likes of Karun Chandog chiming in, when you're listening to Crofty, you can chime in. Bernie Collins, you can chime in. Laura Winter, you can chime in, right? But when you've got someone like him, like is what it is. He's a guest person. Don't have him on forever. And two, the only reason why Kimi's been spoken about is because he's the youngest driver on the grid and he's in the spotlight of that Mercedes. If we speak about the likes of Liam Lawson versus Fernando Alonso, which is what happened towards the back end of last year, the amount of times Alonso said to Liam, you cannot drive for shit. Was it Liam Lawson who put his middle finger out as well at some point? Was it towards Sergio Perez, I think? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Sometime last year. Exactly. And Liam Lawson still has been at the start.
Even in Miami, he took Alonso out again in Miami during the sprint, wasn't
There's
it?
no spotlight on Liam Lawson, exactly. There's no spotlight on him for that, and I think people like you can talk about that, but fine if that's what you want to say. Also speak about the other drivers as well and give them a chance because Kimi's one of the youngest, second or third youngest driver in Formula One history to be on the podium. First is Max, second is Lance Stroll, and third was Kimi. So, it's like, let's be a little bit real here now. Like, he's not going to be expected to be getting podiums every single time.
Yeah.
He's trying his best. This is what you call a rookie error, which he's entitled to have because he's a rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to even the odds and say someone like Yuki Tsunoda, then you would never give Yuki any sort of excuse for anything that happens because you're an experienced driver with 3 to 4 years behind the seat at the sister Formula One team of Red Bull. You've got no excuses to be bad, you know? Like, let's level the playing field here. You can't have one sort of thing for what Kimi is and then expect everyone else to go below just because you want to talk about
Yeah.
it. I'm excited for Kimi. I agree that he does need a lot more time to develop and mature, but that doesn't mean that he hasn't got the potential, and that doesn't mean that he's not going to turn good. He probably, genuinely, should have been with Williams, and Sainz should have, I think, if I was in Formula One and I was in that transfer window at the beginning of the year, I would have said, put Carlos Sainz in that Mercedes for a 1 or 2 year contract, try negotiate, do your best, because Sainz was still in his prime. I mean, up until that Charles Leclerc win in Monaco last year, he was the only non-Red Bull driver to win a race for that year and a half, because obviously he won in Singapore 23. Sainz was unreal then, and give Kimi exactly what they did to George Russell at Williams. They put George Russell in Williams for a couple of years until he proved good, and then they got him into the Mercedes, and he's been successful. So I don't know why you wouldn't do it.
I think Toto was just hoping he's got the next Max Verstappen, thinking
the Max Verstappen. Yeah, exactly. I think he's just it's like the one that you could never have.
Yeah.
You know? The fact that the fact it's so funny. It's like Toto is funny because he's like, you know, I wouldn't flirt with Max in that way because I want to be loyal. He's actually said that. Like, I don't flirt with my drivers in that way. You know, I show loyalty and whatnot. But meanwhile, he's been seen in Sardinia twice, having dinner with Max and
the Verstappen party.
Toto's family. Well, yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh yeah, of course, you don't want to talk to other drivers, but meanwhile, you're best friends with Max Verstappen.
And he's always got the Mercedes checkbook with him. So how much is it going to cost us, Max?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a subtle foreshadowing of Max being with Max. I hate to say this, but with the relationship that they've got, Toto Wolff and whatnot, I've got a stronger and stronger feeling that not now, not next year.
Yeah, I agree.
But in the near
Building on to
future,
that point.
Max and Toto Wolff will combine forces in some capacity.
But
for sure.
what do you think about the main man,
it feels
Isaac
inevitable
Hadjar,
at this
P3?
In fact,
the Mercedes engines.
Let's
The
get
Mercedes
Dave's
engines
thoughts.
are
I feel like Dave
horrific.
has a lot of emotional baggage after the Lando Norris situation incident.
Oh,
Didn't you say you wanted Lando to win?
I said I put Lando for P1. I honestly thought Lando was going to do it.
Give us your thoughts as a.
He's looked so strong all weekends. Obviously qualifying, what was it, 0.012 seconds Piastri pipped him for that pole. Watching the race today, obviously my timing screens are 30 seconds ahead of my actual video live feed, so all I saw was straight away Verstappen go to P2 and then P3 and then P2, and I was like, oh, okay, and then the race starts. I was like, oh, okay, he's got back in it, he's got back past Verstappen later on in the race. I was like, right, here we go, we're back on again. He's just got to slowly hunt down Piastri, and then he got to lap, what was it, 66. It says Alfie has stopped recording. I don't know whether that's... Yeah, Alfie, your device has stopped recording and he's gone.
And he's gone. Well, I think it was too much for Alfie. Alfie was truly so devastated about Lando Norris that he just decided he couldn't handle it anymore.
But yeah, lap 66, I just started seeing the timing screens. I saw that before the video feed. I saw Norris drop down to P2, 3, 4. I obviously thought he'd crashed, and then when the TV screens finally caught up with the timing, I was like, he's had an engine failure of sorts. So yeah, pretty gutted. I'm not going to write him off for the season. I'm still going to have hope that he can come back to it. Alfie, welcome back.
How many races have we got left?
We've got 9 races left for the season. Welcome back, Alfie. It's nice of you to join us. Yeah, we've got 9 races left, so obviously we're in Monza next weekend. Then we've got a week off. But I hopefully think he can redeem himself.
Have we covered Isaac? Did I miss?
No, we'll just carry on with the McLaren. Look, yeah, a bit disheartening.
Joking and saying that you left because you were heartbroken over Lando so much. Even
Had
though
to go. Had to go have a cry in the corner.
Yeah, you're just a McLaren fan in disguise, aren't you?
Speaking about that Mercedes engine, though, if that issue carries over to 26, they're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I think there's so much speculation, and it's what annoys
What do
me
you think
sometimes.
about? What do you think about that drive from
let's-
Isaac?
Oh
yeah.
Let's hold on to our horses and just consider the fact that yes, Mercedes have acres of experience in building powertrains, of course, but then again, so do Ferrari, and we have evidently seen that yes, a powertrain is amazing to have because you want it to be reliable. Ironically, obviously, it wasn't over this race weekend when it was most important for Lando Norris, but in general, yes, Mercedes are really good engine providers, but that's clearly not the all and end all of the success of a team or a driver, because we have seen Mercedes have fallen off over these last 4 years. Through this development cycle, Mercedes have never ever been considered as a top 2 team. You've never favoured Mercedes to win a race in these last 4 years outright.
Yeah.
Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
It's either been only Red Bull and Ferrari in 2022. It was mainly Ferrari in 2022 with a bit of Red Bull, because Ferrari's strategy was horrendous. In 2023, it was all Red Bull. There wasn't a sprinkle of anything else. 2024, it was McLaren and Red Bull.
It's not been since 21, has it?
Well, exactly.
And even then, it was.
Yeah.
They weren't looking at 100% in 21. That's when it had started to happen.
That's when the yeah, exactly. Ever since that W11 or W10, both of them are still pretty good. But that 2020 car, which was unbelievable, the black one, proper like that was like Mercedes at their prime. You know, and I think people should just hold on to their horses a little bit and see what happens, because a team like McLaren, the things that they have put around that powertrain in terms of the aero load and being smart and efficient with tyre management and the drivers and whatnot, they all play into effect.
Yeah.
You know? They all add a couple of % in terms of the race of success.
It's just Mercedes letting them down at the moment.
Exactly. And from what Alfie says, it seems like Red Bull are giving positive signs of their partnership with their powertrain that they're going to invent. You can never count out Ferrari. Unfortunately, as hilarious as Ferrari are, that's purely because of the expectations we have for them, but they've really and truly not finished below 4th in the Constructors for a very long time. Even 4th in general, they've always been 1st, 2nd or 3rd in the Constructors. Last year they lost by a sliver. That's the closest they were to success.
Yeah.
And even when you feel like they aren't going to turn up, they've got that dark horse within them, which is ironic because obviously it's the prancing horse logo. But you guys saw P1, P2...
Where did they finish?
P2 last year. Constructors, were they?
Yeah.
P2 again.
They're still second.
This is amazing. You wouldn't think to yourself, like, looking at their record this year, they're in P2 in the Constructors.
No, but it's the consistency. Even though it's hilarious what they do to make it happen, it's still the consistency, right? Like, Leclerc's had a podium. You can't remember that. Even Hamilton's had a sprint win in there somewhere, but it's the expectations. Even this weekend, they looked miles off the pace in practice. P14, P17, and then I don't know what they did after Q1, but Q2 they were absolutely flying.
Yeah.
Even in Q1, that second run that they did in Q1, I don't know what they did. They must have put some like caffeine or whatever it is into their car, because that started kicking about. That horse started gaining legs, you know? We just need to give Ferrari time.
All right, let's...
Speaking of people that are
Isaac Hadjar.
What do you think?
That was a good drive from him today.
Go on, Alf. I feel like you really want to talk about him. I feel like you're really happy.
Finesse Isaac.
Yeah.
He's just... I didn't think... what I thought would happen, when I saw him qualify fourth, I was like, good qualifying. But I thought he'd get caught on the start by whoever's behind him. I can't remember who it was. And I thought he'd finish about 7th, and I think it'd be 7th and 8th for them, and him and Lawson could go either way. But he's made a statement that he wants that second seat.
He raced a really good race today. Defended really well. The strategy with the team when they brought him into the pits and everything, they've called everything perfectly to go. I mean, it's unlucky for Lando, but then the silver lining for for Isaac is that he's got onto the podium.
Yeah, and for all Formula One fans,
Yeah.
I think that fed that you can't be angry about that. No one can, because it's racing bulls, you know. In the same way, when Kimi got his podium, I was happy. Everyone was happy. That's a win for Formula One fans in general. When you're seeing a rookie who's against all of the odds, and like to be honest, when I saw him putting his car onto P4 in qualifying, that absolutely shocked me. I was live earlier today and I was like, I'm surprised that out of the first few laps, George Russell hasn't caught up to him, Charles Leclerc hasn't, maybe even Lewis, no one.
Yeah, no one. They got within DRS, but they just could not get past him. He just defended so well.
Like, yeah. And this guy, he's like, what is he, like 20 years old, 21? Something like that.
He is young.
The only thing that's unfortunate about that is there's only one issue. I can't see him getting that seat.
Good, I don't want him to.
I think it'd be
Do not want him
a number one driver for Racing Bulls. He'd be quite happy with.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want him there next year. It's a new car. It'll be easy. It'll be fine to drive. There won't be anything that we've got this
I think so, but
anymore.
I think I would rather someone in the second seat who has overstayed their welcome at Racing Bulls than someone who is hot off the press from Racing Bulls, you know?
And I think
for
Wilson.
example,
I think
if we were
Wilson
to
can perform in that
George
Red Bull.
Russell, if we were to use George Russell for an example, he was at Williams for maybe a year longer than he would have liked, or Formula One fans would have liked. But that reason and that maturity and that understanding was the reason why he did so well at Mercedes.
Yeah.
As good as Hadjar is, the best thing we should give him is confidence, and that's the biggest takeaway from this race. Like this, we have to like give ourselves a bit of reality. As amazing as Hadjar is, it wasn't really in time
Pardon me.
in which he was able to get a podium. You know, everything that did work, could work, and did work. Like, it was fine. Whereas, if you look at Lewis Hamilton, for example, everything that could go wrong did go wrong for him. But that doesn't mean it's going to keep happening again. Like, Hadjar, again, I mean, as much as I dislike to say it, if we're being realistic, he'll probably get P7s to P10s in and around for the next few races, and maybe another P5. But the confidence for him is the biggest thing. And what happens when you're at Red Bull is your pressure is too high, and it knocks your confidence. And if you don't have confidence, even if the car is as amazing as it is, you won't be able to do well. And Lando Norris, unfortunately, for the back end of last year, was a bit of an example of that. He was winning Singapore by miles and miles, but he still almost crashed 3 times. It happens to every driver. And I think if you are in if you're in a mid-level car, but you're always performing, that mental thing and fortitude it's just there with you, you know? You don't care about what happens in the result.
Yeah.
You can wake up and be like, do you know what, it's fine. It's fine. I would rather him be at such a point where he's sick and tired of performing so well that he's like, do you know what? Now it's time for a proper challenge. Because it's the best for his development and his own career, do you know what I mean? So that's my opinions.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my thought.
But after that great race weekend,
Yeah.
I think we should leave it there.
I don't want to talk about this race weekend anymore.
I can imagine. Well, thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, cheers for joining us.
Made it this
Thank
far.
you.
If you've got to the
Make
end.
sure you do subscribe and like, follow, share this to all your friends. We are on an endeavour, and we've got an
Everything.
exciting podcast lined up for you next week with a potential guest. We will reserve who it's going to be until you see. But until that next video, thank you all so much.
Thank you and good night. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.